Hello, folks. Hey, Facebook friends, Doug Bates here, coming at you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it's about May 2nd, May 2nd, and I'm here with my good friend Lori. You guys are in for a treat today because you've got a personal trainer here of 30 plus years and a visiting nurse of 30 plus years. So she's a client of 3 years on top of that, and so we're going to share with you some of our experiences and our knowledge. That's a treat for you, I'm sure, because this is going to be novel stuff at some point during this short or fairly mildly long conversation we have with you. So it's just a nice chat. So again, thanks for clicking on. Feel free to share anything that you think turns out to be relevant. Just tag that timeline and say, hey, watch this part. Okay, so I'm going to hang up that part of the conversation and say to Lori, say what you've got going on in your mind about what you think is going to be relevant to people on Facebook to hear about your experience as a nurse and training here.
Well, let me just say, like he said, I've been a nurse or working with him for 3 years and a nurse for 30 years. And what I've noticed through the workouts with him is that my brain power, I would say, has increased because he's taught me a lot about amino acids, glutamine, those types of things. And I've been regularly taking that, and I noticed that I'm able to think clearer, those types of things. And then the exercises that he does are really awesome because he should really be called the chakra trainer because of the fact that when we're doing exercises, he has you use certain ways that you're holding your hands or how you're holding your body, and that opens up the chakra. That also opens up the organs that are associated with that. And what I find in my nursing is I have more mental agility, more physical agility, in and out of people's homes and stuff. You know, nurses out there, you know how that is, how that can be. And more awareness just basically of my surrounding and more intuitive of what people are needing when I'm out there.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Now, she mentioned two things. She mentioned amino acids and she mentioned glutamine. All of you know what amino acids are. They're a protein source. You're looking at two vegans here, and neither of us were vegans to begin with, obviously. It's something we chose. And there's a reason we chose. We won't get into the long details here of, but I'll tell you how quickly it is to easily augment your health with one supplement that you can get that can be vegan-based. That is L-glutamine. L-glutamine is the conditionally essential amino acid, not considered an essential amino acid, but it's conditionally essential under times of stress. Well, who's not under stress these days? So I don't sell L-glutamine as a supply source, as people know. I just make sure my clients get it at cost or right down near cost. They typically just buy it online for the $35 that is charged through whatever supplier that is, $35 or $36. And L-glutamine feeds the following things: your brain, your gut cells, your immune cells, okay? And it's 70% of your dry muscle mass. That means of all the muscle mass your body has, 70% of your muscle mass is made up of L-glutamine alone. You want muscle mass? L-glutamine is your friend. You want to keep your muscle mass? It's anti-catabolic. It's your friend. You want to use your brain? L-glutamine helps your brain. L-glutamine helps your gut cells, your villi grow. The little seagrass hairs that eat for you, because you don't eat with mouth, you eat with your seagrass hairs, called the villi. Then you also have the immune system and get what? Glutathione production. The endogenous production of your liver making more glutathione. That's 5 benefits from L-glutamine. And for $35 or $36, you buy that and you take a serving 2 or 3 or even 4 times a day if you're suffering from any kind of immune system crisis or energy crisis or wasting disease or immune concern. You want to make sure your brain works. You want to control your appetite. L-glutamine is the answer 9 times out of 10, and it can be vegan source. The following source is vegan, no animal products, and non-GMO. It's called NOW, made in Illinois. The guy started the business way back in the 60s trying to find affordable quality supplements. Couldn't find any, so he made his own business. So that's a small business owner that you can buy that now has grown tremendously. I don't make profit off Now products. I just use them and I want them to succeed because they're competing against the big guys. They're not pharmacologically based. It's a little guy that did a nutrition product and is still competing and still developing new products. I've talked to their actual staff. So back to the conversation about exercise. That's the next phase of this. Tell me again more about the chakras and the organs and glands and how odd it is when you've gone from training that was basically, what, movement focused or muscle focused? And all of a sudden you're worried about organs and glands. What does that do to your mind and what does that do to your health and your training?
Well, it just wakes you up to really what's going on in the body. It's like if to be aware of the chakras and to be aware of the organs that are associated with that, all of it has to be in harmony. All of it has to be flowing in synchronicity. And if it isn't, you're just doing some motions. And so with Doug, when you come and do the workouts, he is so super aware of everything, of what you need to do. And it's really impressive. It's really remarkable. And like I say, I don't ever think you're too old to do this. Those of you sitting out there and thinking I'm so out of shape and I'm not going to ever be able to get back, I'm going to tell you, starting at 60 and now I'm 63 and I'm in the best shape of my life and thinking clearer and just feeling better in general. I know my liver is working better because I can wake up in the morning and I'm ready to go. And before that I had brain fog and just not able to really enjoy everything to the fullest. And so these workouts are never stagnant. They're very dynamic. Again, working, he knows something, if you're going to do it wrong, he knows it before you do and will correct you on that. And like in the last video, I said, I walk in feeling good, but when I leave, I'm really feeling excellent. So.
That's great. So awaken your joy, awaken your vitality. And the way that gets done is by specific pressure points on your hands, specific body positions, and that directs current because these are reflexology pressure points. And just like on your face, your hands, and your feet, that conducts energy into your organs and glands, and then we open the spinous processes to feed the nerve currents, to feed the organs and glands that are necessary. Now, when you look at your lawn and you find that one part of your lawn is really dry, all the rest of it is already wet, you wouldn't water the whole grass. So what I do is I examine what part of your body's turned on, what part of your body's not turned on, what part of your body's functioning, what part of your body's hypofunctioning. And I only water that part of the lawn. I only turn attention to that. I bring that part back into the player, so the whole system is working again. And that's what people typically don't do. They try and give you a whole workout or do both sides equally. You got to do left and right equally. You might never need to work your dominant side. You might need only your non-dominant side. And in that, you correct the entire problem that comes from being right-hand dominant or from being pelvic floor dominant, from being dominant in your head or being dominant in your liver. I sound so dominant in my liver and so dominant in my lungs. But the truth is, I'm that strong everywhere. I'm crazy strong everywhere. And I tend to naturally produce volume. I tend to naturally produce strength. And you'll find that Lori's demeanor is very different than when she started. She's going to do things with more confidence, do things with more voice. Yeah. So can you talk about that a little bit? Yeah, 1 or 2 seconds if you got ideas.
I'm just more confident in how I feel, how I look, and how that I know that the energy is just moving the way it should be because of the clearness of which I'm able to do any task that I set out to do.
That's great. That's great. To restate that is to just see that the clarity of a person's well-being is felt viscerally. So not only does she know that in her head, but when she goes back and examines with her gut, she goes, I just got to talk about that. But then she said it from her gut. You could maybe see the difference. The one was from her head, the second one came from her gut. And she's like, well, I just said that. I'll come from another chakra. And she spoke from that gut. Well, it feels good in my body. I'm confident. That's a different approach than I have the skill. The one's an analytical approach. The next one's a feeling of gut and security. I feel secure. So gut and security means that she feels secure in her gut. There's confidence. There's this certainty that comes with having that vitality. And that's what we're looking to deliver with proper movement, as opposed to trying to think, I'm going to train a bicep or shoulder or even a movement like running. If that running movement doesn't build your vitality, what was the point of it? If that bench press doesn't build your vitality, certainly, and probably can't, what was the point of it? It's all about, if you can't, see, I'm planning for people's workouts 100 years in the future. Crazy. But why not? Why would you plan for your end of your life to occur at 80 or 90? How long do you think you're going to live before when you first came in?
Well, I thought 80s.
Okay, what do you think of now?
Well, I don't care. I mean, it's going to be way past that.
Way past that. So what happens is a lot of my clients come in and go, I have no plan to end my life at any particular age. I can just keep going because they've already experienced getting younger at 50, 60, and even 70 plus. Why would they ever think they couldn't keep getting younger if they're getting younger at 50, 60, and 70? Because once you get younger, you have more vitality, which to build more youth, more vitality again. So if I'm doing this and I'm turning 55 this year, if I'm younger at 55 than I was at 53 or 54, why is that not going to continue to contribute if I don't use it wrongly? Why would I spend all that energy and do something retarded like run a marathon with it? Or see if I can beat that guy at baseball? What do I care? That doesn't build my chakras. It only builds one right-handed batting. I'm going to bat lefty if I go play baseball. I'm going to throw lefty if I play baseball because those are my non-dominant sides. Then I might get something out of it, but I'm not trying to beat the guy anymore, am I? I'm trying to improve my vitality with the game of baseball. That is the approach I take. So I'm hoping you all got to listen to this. Hope you all enjoyed the recording. Hope you find something valuable to share. I'm, of course, at Better Results Personal Training. I'm also at Ageless Fitness Institute. Again, Better Results Personal Training is online and at Facebook. And Ageless Fitness Institute is also on Facebook. Then I've got BetterResultsPersonalTraining.com as a website. I'm still working on that, but you can feel free to take a look at that. And of course, I'm available for Zoom hire, things like that. So you can always do distance learning, distance coaching, and of course, I do nutrition coaching and lifestyle coaching and all the rest. Thanks again for listening, and I really appreciate, Lori, thanks for taking time to share your thoughts. This is our second recording ever. We're just going to practice this stuff. Hope you find value. If you find value, say come back, make another one. That's really cool. Leave your comments. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye now.